Welcome to All the Gear But No Idea, the South Australian fishing podcast hosted by Rhodey and Diz. The boys will share their tall tales of the one that got away, as well as some regular segments they know all you fishing tragics will enjoy.
G'day guys and welcome to episode 20 of All the Gear But No Idea. We're joined today once again by the bald man, Rhodey. How are you?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Goes whack early.
Coughing it sweet.
We are very lucky today, Rhodey, to be joined by Jamie Crawford. All of our fans will very commonly know Jamie for his excellent articles he produces in a number of fishing magazines, and he's going to tell us all about that and also some of his involvement with the Seafood Advisory Forum. So we look forward to hearing from him. But Rhodey, how you been for the week, mate?
Yeah, not bad, mate.
Interesting week,
It has been a quick little delve into the life of Melbourne over the last 6 months with a bit of a quick lockdown in South Australia, but we're out of that now.
Yes, yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I'm sure the Vics would be looking at us thinking, geez, those blokes are all right in South Australia. Blokes and girls in South Australia are all right changing a 6-day to a 3-day.
Well, I think the government did very well myself, so I think good on us as a state for getting over it ASAP. You were probably hoping it dragged on a little bit longer so you could sell some more masks down at the pharmacy.
We might be stuck with a few, so if you're short of a mask, don't be afraid to head down to Christie's Beach. We'll sort you out.
No, so no doubt that's some good news. Diz, let's go into the oranges. What do you got for us?
Okay, well, my orange, mate, is absolutely the 6-day lockdown changing to 3 days. And that means we can get out there and get on the water again sooner rather than later.
You're going to go out and hunt a bit of lightning this afternoon, are you?
Not an ideal day today. I know there'd be a lot of people out in the water braving the elements, but certainly at the start I was fearing it was looking more like a sort of 14-day restrictions.
Yes.
But now it doesn't look that way, so hopefully the cricket's on and the rest of it will be good.
And there certainly were a few on the water this morning. I saw Boss Man from the Boat Squitters was out there getting a couple.
Yeah, Boss Man was on.
He went live on Facebook.
Yeah, we love that from him. Rhodey, what was your orange, mate?
Now, this is some breaking news. Now, all our guests will know we have been in the hunt for a boat, a new one, a bit of an upgrade.
Yes.
And we've logged in an on-water test. So we're getting a little bit more serious about that. So that's my orange, that we're getting closer and closer to upgrading.
Yes. No, it's very exciting times. Very exciting times. But don't count your chickens before it hatches, mate.
No, we'll keep the details close to our chest, and we'll let you all in on the details if it eventuates.
Absolutely. All right. Well, look, my lemon, no doubt. Woodville Pizza Bar. I'm sure they do a good pizza, but they could, that person who lied, not happy about it.
No, he won't be a popular fella this week.
I'm pretty flat about it. The police are patrolling the Woodville Pizza Bar to make sure there's no. But look, on a more serious note, it's not the Woodville Pizza Bar fault. It is the person who lied to the contact tracers.
Look,
I'm disgusted. Are you?
Yeah, mate. Fully on board.
What's your lemon, mate?
Now, talking about this boat upgrade that's in the pipeline.
Have you got a double boat?
Yeah, double boat. It's a bit bittersweet, isn't it? Talking about selling the old boat. We've had some good times in it.
Oh, it's a fantastic boat. And it might not be long before you see it, you listeners out there see it doing the rounds on boat sales.
So 420 Renegade, 40 horsepower Yamaha, adaptable, does the river, does the ocean, we've got tuna in it, we've done it all. Yeah, so it will be sad to see it go. We've had some good times in that boat.
It will be. It will be sad to see it go.
Bit of an end of an era.
Yeah. Start of a new one though.
It is. Hopefully a few more fish on the new one.
Hopefully. All right, Rhodey. That's oranges and lemons, mate. We were lucky enough to get down to the mouth last week.
Yep.
Do a bit of a day down there, do some cockling. We'll talk a bit more about that later. But unknowingly to you, I've repped the pipeline merch, the shirt.
The protocol we've got.
The
prototype, sorry.
Yes, the prototype.
Jeez, I really tricked you to that one, didn't I?
You did.
Yeah, no, it looked good on you, mate.
The shirt went excellently. So, for all the listeners out there, there's one way to get your hands on a shirt. and that's by buying our bloody hats. So we can afford to buy some new merch. So get amongst it. I know today's not a great day to be wearing a hat, but you need a hat, you need some stubbies before the summer months.
You certainly do, and any t-shirt that makes you look good must be a pretty special sort of item. So get on board the caps, guys.
Yes, they'll be doing the rounds on Facebook. You know, they've already been there. You see them. Hit us up if you want one. All right, Roddy, let's get stuck in the fishing news, mate.
Now, this first one's been and gone. The fishing ban. It came in, the quarantine was on.
Yeah.
Fishing was on the banned list. 3 days later, it's opened up again. So that one's sort of become a bit redundant in the news, really, hasn't it?
That's right. It was a big story breaking, and now it's a bit of a nothing.
Anyway, good news.
That's all right. Okay, well, another little story that's just a reminder for those who are considering the fishing licence surrender. No, it's closed.
Yeah, it's closed on November 13, so a week or so ago.
She's Dunsky.
So 5 p.m. on Friday, November 13, that closed for the the commercial anglers to surrender their licence if they chose to.
Yes.
Last report was about 90 had applied to surrender.
Yes.
Not sure how many then got in before the deadline, but they
Yes.
were hoping for 150. So they had a bit of work to do in the last week or so to get to that.
Yes, yeah. And already remind the listeners why they were doing this.
So the government was aiming to unlock some potential for the fishing industry to improve profitability and sustainability for the industry.
Yes.
They were trying to reduce how many commercial operators there were, hopefully meaning more fish for the recos, and also meaning those commercial fishermen in the industry might be a bit more successful if there was a few less involved.
Yeah. It was sort of get out if you're not going to invest in the future, or invest in the future, basically.
That's it.
And it remains to be seen whether this will be the case because, yes, last announcement, I think it was 88, they had surrendered. They were a long way off 150.
They were.
So that'll be interesting. Okay, another little story. $16 million upgrade of the SA Aquatic Sciences Centre at West Beach. Rody?
Yeah, so that was announced under the recent budget. So that was going to upgrade the seawater intake pipes, the roof, and that was going to help with projects such as breeding snapper fingerlings for release,
Yes.
oyster breeding, barra fingerling facility, the processing of live lobster, and it was also going to help the Adelaide Zoo seal enclosure.
Yes, well, it's a very important intake pipe, that.
So do we think that they pump water into a big old tank and take it into the zoo, do they?
Don't know, mate.
It's interesting, isn't it?
It is interesting.
Big water
but
tanker that...
If those seawater intake pipes are damaged, then it puts a lot of that stuff under jeopardy. And our oyster breeding program here is very robust.
It is, isn't it? That's a good word you've used there, mate.
Very, very important to our economy. Amongst the other ones, really. Snapper fingerlings, the live lobster processes. I looked for a bit of an update on the live lobster issue with China. Couldn't find anything significant of its nature, but there's certainly a bit of it's not you, it's us, and it's not you, it's us from both ends. Bit of the blame game going on here, Rody.
Bit of a handball around the circle, John.
Yeah, but look, pretty flat for those lobster fishermen who can't get the money they would usually be getting.
All right, moving on. So a Victorian man has been fined for taking snapper near Cape Douglas in the southeast. So he was fined $1,685 at the Mount Gambier Magistrates Court. And I think this dates back to maybe February, I think, when the offence was committed. Yeah. So Basham came out and said it's a timely reminder to follow the rules put in place to protect the species. So he obviously didn't have tags.
Yeah. No, he did not.
But as we're about to touch on, the tags are no longer.
No, the tags are no longer, Rody. It's a good little segue into the next piece of news. The new snapper management plan for the southeast will be taking effect on the 1st of February 2021. And Rody, give us a bit of a rundown of what you can do and can't do. Yes,
so you are now allowed, well, as when this comes in the coming months, you're allowed 2 snapper per person or 6 per boat, All catches must be reported to PIRSA via the app. So that's so they can track the number of snapper and I think the size of them as well.
Yes.
That will replace the tagging system which has been in place.
Yes.
And they've set a total allowable catch of 26,666 kilograms in southeast waters.
Yes.
About 21,000 of that's for the commercial fishers.
Yep.
2,133 kilograms of snapper goes to the recreational anglers.
Yep.
And 2,667 kilograms for the charter boats, who will also have to report their catch.
Yes, that's exactly right. Once the catch limit is reached for the rec fishers, that'll be it, mate.
That'll be the end of the season.
Yes, that will be the end of the season. And another little must do is you rec fishers must use a release weight as well if sending them back down to the
You certainly got to have one of them on board, and we picked up one of them down from Christie's Beach not that long ago, did we?
Yes, we certainly did. Let's go fishing. Get down there if you need a release weight. Dan, Boyd and the boys will sort you out.
Not that we've been targeting snapper, we just thought, just in case, good to have.
No, it was good. Yeah, it was a case of good to have. They had them there. We were having a good look around the store as you usually do when you go into a tackle. You sort of hunt around for the new things or something you don't have in your tackle bag, and we spotted it there, so we grabbed it. And the boys sorted us out.
So we're calling the tags a flop, are we?
Oh, look, I think the tags were a bit of a flop. Graham Keegan, fan of the show, he's been very anti-tags and has certainly been campaigning strongly for us rec fishers, and I think this is a good result.
So yeah, he's part of the Snapper Management Advisory Committee, and he seems to have been a big driver of this.
Yes.
And so what I'm reading here is just 392 tags were used of the 3,030 tags that were issued in a lottery. So that's 12.9%. It's not great, is it?
No.
And I have heard a few people, were the tags just given out to anyone and everyone who won the ballot, and were half of those people even able to access the waters to catch them?
True.
Should it have been, a bit more localised to those that live in the southeast or those that regularly travel to the southeast? Because by the looks of that, they didn't get used like they should have.
Yeah, well, that's right. Well, it's hard to know, and at the end of the day, this is a good result for the recos, I think. And it'll be good.
Yeah, and the 38 centimetre size limit still applies.
Yep.
And the snapper ban for the rest of the state is still in place until January 31, 2023.
Yes.
So what, we've got about 2 and a bit years left to go of the countdown.
Yeah.
So we might have to get a little weekly update of how many weeks left till we catch snapper.
Start a countdown on your laptop.
It's a lot of weeks at the moment though.
Oh, that's a heck of a lot of weeks.
Anyway, all right, what's next?
Boy, we look forward to it, don't we?
Oh, we'll be good snapper fishermen.
Getting your arms stretched again by those big reds.
Yeah, can't wait.
Absolutely. All right, well, look, there's been a bit of a video doing the rounds here, hasn't there? Port Augusta, little swordie.
Nice swordfish, isn't it?
Absolutely, mate.
It's
a thriving marine environment.
Yeah, I know we've seen dolphin fish pop up at Port Augusta. I think sunfish have been sighted around Port Augusta over the last however many years. So there's some random things that turn up there.
Yes, there is.
Very interesting.
There is. It was good footage too, wasn't it?
It was nice,
really
clear camera work.
Good camera work. All right, Roddy, tell us about the coast to coast, mate. This is starting to ramp up a bit.
Yeah, it's getting plenty of traction on the social media. So it's February 6 and 7 next year, assuming nothing else goes astray with the COVID. So I'll have to keep an eye on that.
Yes.
Club Marine's on board as the major sponsor.
Yep.
Other sponsors include friends of the show, the Fishing Guru, How's Your Tackle, and Troll So Hard Lures.
Some of the greatest blokes going around in the industry, aren't
So it's great to see local businesses supporting local competitions, and the annual Victor Harbour Tuna Comp will be a good one this year, and we'll make sure we get down there and get involved.
And Dan's got a spot on Flackie's boat, I believe he was telling us. That was what he was saying last time?
He did.
So he's I certainly say he's in one of the box seats.
Good boat to be on, I reckon. He did make a comment saying at least I won't have to worry about too many lures, because I reckon Flacky will sort that out.
Yeah, you want to be with the likes of Stu Frenchie, Boyd, Flacky. Yeah. Some of these just known pillagers of the tuna ocean.
Our mate Shane Evans, he caught 100 and something last year.
Yes. Very good. Very good.
All right, what else, Diz? Any other updates?
No news on the Dolphin Sanctuary or Kingfish at Port Augusta, mate. Yeah, we will have a quick chat with Jamie about that later on. And we are also awaiting the results of the Recfish survey from the MARFAC. They will be announced on the website. We're not exactly sure when, but you'll be the first to hear once it breaks, guys.
All right, Diz, I reckon that's about it for the fishing news.
Yes.
A little bit quiet this week.
Yeah.
The COVID shutdown probably stopped a little bit of the news from breaking.
Yeah, I think so. I think it did.
All right, we're very lucky today to be joined by Jamie Crawford. Jamie writes for the SA Angler magazine and he's recently been announced as one of the rec fishing representatives on the government's Seafood Advisory Forum. Welcome to the show, Jamie.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for the invite. Looking forward to having a chat.
Yeah, fantastic, Jamie. Thanks a lot for coming on the show. And like we usually do, let's get stuck into the first 5 questions. So tell us about your best fish, mate. I reckon this is probably going to be a good one.
All right. Best fish. It's I suppose it's pretty hard to narrow down a best fish. I suppose I've been, I like travelling and exploring new places and catching different species of fish. But I suppose the fish that you always catch on your own, it always seems a bit more rewarding. So it's probably my best mulloway would be my best, what I'd classify as my best fish. I'd probably call it bigger fish with different species, but cracking the big mulloway wasn't an easy one for me. It took a fair bit of time to get a really good fish. So that's probably my most rewarding fish.
Yeah, and tell us the details, Jamie. What's the PB mulloway size?
All right, my PB mulloway in length, it was 139. So a reasonable fish. But I'd always had a bit of an infatuation with mulloway from a young age, and as soon as I got my licence, I started chasing mulloway down the south coast of the Fleurieu Peninsula. I grew up at Seaford.
Yeah.
And so I used to go down and fish at the Coorong and the south coast beaches a fair bit. So, had always had that mulloway bug. I got a metre fish when I was about 17, so that was my first reasonable fish, and I was pretty stoked with that. And then when I moved over to the Eyre Peninsula, we started doing west coast trips. So we generally do a west coast trips to the beaches in the Bight once a year. Getting fish around that 20 to 30 or even up to 40 pound seemed to be they never came easy, but it seemed to be able to crack those sort of fish. But getting a 50 or a 60 pounder did take me quite a few years, and it was probably only 5 years ago. I was fishing up there with a mate, and he jammed a good fish on the first day we got there. And then, it was the next day, had a bit of a fumbling bite, and then the line went slack. As the fish picked up the bait and swam in towards shore, managed to set the hooks and had a pretty cool fight in the middle of the day, and beached a good fish. So that was nice. And he was up around that 60 pound mark.
Yeah, beautiful. That's certainly a very impressive catch there, Jamie. Now, next thing, can you tell us your favourite thing about fishing?
Favourite thing about fishing would be the people you meet and the places you go. Just going to a lot of places you wouldn't go if it wasn't for fishing. I suppose we're pretty lucky that the places we get to go to, whether it's beach fishing or estuaries or even just a new location where you meet new people, you're generally there because of fishing. So that would be the highlight, just the unexpected things you see as well along the way.
Yeah, fantastic. It's that's been a common theme amongst our guests as well, Jamie, getting out there and meeting new people and checking out new places. So that's great. Yeah. And Jamie, what would be your first fishing memory? You mentioned you grew up down at Seaford. Is that sort of living on the coast what got you into fishing, or?
Yeah, for sure. So my dad was always into fishing, so he got me into fishing at a pretty young age. So we, as I was growing up, we probably fished the Onkaparinga a fair bit, just for bream and obviously the bycatch, mullet and salmon trout that you do get. My first fishing memory is of a black bream. It wasn't that big, but it was of a black bream when I was probably 4 years old. And that was down near the bridge down at Port Noarlunga. So no, good memories. And then we eventually got a boat when I was about 12 years old and started fishing along the Metro Coast for whiting and in the Coorong a fair bit for school mulloway. So they were good memories growing up.
Yes, beautiful. It's a great way to start fishing locally and go on to bigger and better things from there. What is your favourite sort of fishing these days, Jamie? We've heard about some, bread and butter species, your beach fishing, and we've seen plenty of photos of some big game fish. What is your favourite thing to target these days?
All right, if I was to pick a style of fishing that's accessible, that you can do easily, anyone can do it, and it's pretty rewarding. I'd have to say, and it's something pretty basic, walking the beaches, flicking for flathead. I absolutely love it. While I love my blue water fishing as well, and I love my surf fishing, but there's just something about the simplicity of grabbing a light flick stick, just a handful of lures, and then just walking the beaches at your own pace. And I find it very rewarding, but just something that you can just tune out, chill out. You don't have a lot of preparation to do before or afterwards, and it's just something you can do on the spur of the moment kind of thing. The fishing can be pretty cool, especially when you can sight cast to flathead in the shallows and you see them turn and follow your lure. It's they are a very cool fish.
Yeah, it's one of those sort of after work, clear the head type of things, isn't it? Which is really good. Jamie, you must have some funny fishing stories, mate, or tell us about the one that got away.
All right, probably. Look, we've had some heartbreaking losses, things that shouldn't have happened that did. There's a lot. Probably a story where the fish almost got away, but then we got it again, and I suppose it's a funny sort of a story. I just moved over to Port Lincoln when I moved over here to study aquaculture after I finished school. Okay. And my dad came over. He was still living in Adelaide at the time, so my dad came over with the boat. And then he eventually moved over here because he loved the area, and he's still over here, which is cool. But he brought the boat over, and we started chasing the bluefin that were following the cages as they came into Port Lincoln. Wow. So we're out there one day, the two of us, and he hooked a good fish, and he got it up next to the boat pretty green, so it had plenty of go in it, and it was probably about 2 or 3 foot under the surface, and it came in next to the boat, and it was probably a 25 kilo fish, and I thought, I can sink the gaff into that, and I was 17 at the time and pretty scrawny little boy. So the fish has swam by. I've leaned over with my arm basically in the water and gaffed it, just absolutely had no idea. And the fish took off and smacked my arm over the side of the boat and pulled me over and pulled me under the water. And then I let go of the gaff and swam back up. I was a couple of metres under the water, swam back up and dragged myself into the boat, pretty sore and sorry for myself. And the fight went on, and we eventually, the gaff floated, which was a good thing, and then we eventually got the fish. But we still look back and laugh and go, wow, we shouldn't have got that fish.
All right, thanks for those 5 questions, Jamie. Now we're going to move on to some more specifics about what you do in the fishing industry. Now, we love reading your articles you write for the SA Angler magazine. Can you tell us how you got involved with that and how many articles you've written?
Yeah, sure. Well, it was when I was 17. So growing up, I always read fishing magazines and just obsessed, as a lot of you guys are as well, which is cool. I suppose it was about when I was 17, I read an editorial by Shane Mensforth, who I'm fairly good friends with now, and it was just inviting a bit of new content to the magazine. So this would have been in 97, 98. Okay. So I read that and thought, I might have a chance at getting something published, which would be pretty cool. And I'd been fishing Waipinga a fair bit back then when I was in year 12. So I put a little piece together and sent it in, and a couple of months later it was printed. I went, wow, that's awesome. And then about a fortnight later, I got a little check in the mail and went, oh my gosh, you actually get paid for this. and then about 6 months later, I thought I'll try and write another one, and I did, and sent it in, and same deal, 2 or 3 months later it got printed, just kind of went from there and started to write a little bit more regularly, and eventually got to meet Shane and do a bit of fishing with him, and yes, it kind of became a regular thing from there. And I suppose I was only doing 1 or 2 a year for probably the first 5 or 6 years, and then it got a little bit more frequent, so I've been writing for Shane for 22 years, and I think the last 10 years I've done every issue, during that time started writing for a couple other magazines a little bit as well. So I do a little bit for Fishing World, based out of Sydney, but I do some South Australian content for that magazine, and Spooled magazine, the online mag. So I've been writing for that one a little bit as well. And look, at the end of the day, it's just a hobby. The writing, it'd never get to a level where it's a full-time work, but it's a very enjoyable hobby, and it adds a different dimension to your fishing as well, because it encourages you or makes you go out, I suppose, with a little bit of purpose to try and get some images and target different things, to get different story ideas, just to try and keep things as fresh and new as possible.
Yeah, fantastic. We were lucky enough to have Shane on the podcast a while ago, and we might need to hit him up again. I fear that if we started writing articles, it'd be a hell of a lot of bullshit about catching nothing.
And Shane would have to employ a new editor, because there'd be a lot of typos.
Nah, it's all good, and we love that magazine, and I bet it would be put a bit of pressure on yourself to make sure you get a good story each article that comes out, for sure.
Yeah.
Jamie, you must have a favourite or memorable article. You said 22 years, so there must be a lot, but maybe even recently, has there one that's stuck out to you that's been a good one?
Probably an Exmouth trip I did. Story on Exmouth. My wife and I did a camper trailer trip when we had our son was pretty young at the time. He was only about 12 months old, and we borrowed our parents' camper trailer. This was probably 14 years ago, and we thought we'd head west, and we spent I think it was about 10 weeks in West Oz, just touring up the coast, and put a story together from that trip. And because it was all different species that I hadn't targeted before, and just the adventure of being on the road, I probably look back and I probably enjoy that article. I enjoyed putting it together, enjoyed the different images that we got from that trip.
And Jamie, we were just having a look at your most recent article about the sharking in the inshore sharking article you wrote for the most recent episode. Tell us about that one. That's something that you're pretty keen on as well.
Yeah, that's it's something I used to do a lot of probably when I was in my late teens, early 20s, and then I probably strayed away from sharking a little bit and started chasing other pursuits, more kings and bits and pieces, and then it's probably been the last 4 or 5 years that we've started getting back into the inshore sharking a bit, and it's just rekindled a bit of that flame, and it's been a lot of fun. Our boys are 12 and 14 years old now, so they're at that age that they're getting pretty keen into fishing, and anything that can pull a little bit of line they think is pretty cool. So we've been doing that a bit, and we don't chase the big bronzies, we chase more of your table sharks like your gummies and your smaller bronze whalers or small to medium sized bronze whalers, which are pretty good fun. And we've got a lot of inshore water here that's quite accessible and can be pretty good fishing for those inshore sharks.
Yeah, fantastic. Good way to get down there with the family and enjoy a bit of time on the water.
Yeah, for sure it is, and we did a couple of overnighters with our boys on the boat last season, and just that whole adventure of heading out and doing some fishing and then pulling into somewhere sheltered for the evening and cooking up a feed and sleeping on the deck of the boat and then fishing again the next day. It's a good adventure.
Yeah, excellent. All right, Jamie. Now the Seafood Advisory Forum. Tell us about it. How did it all come about, and when were you approached for it?
Yeah, it was probably maybe 3 or so months ago. I was approached and said that the forum was being put together, and would I consider going on the forum? And at the time I said I would. I said if there was anyone else who desperately wanted to be on, because I'm already on a couple of other forums and boards. I said if someone else wanted to, I said that's cool, and they came back a few weeks later and said it would be pretty cool if you did. Just I suppose with my daily work, I'm involved in the commercial sector here in Lincoln, and aquaculture is my background and training. So just having a bit of insight into each of the 3 sections, recreational, commercial, and aquaculture. I suppose it brings a bit more of an unbiased view to the table. While recreational fishing is my passion, all of our coastal towns do rely a lot on aquaculture and commercial fishing. So they still have to be taken into consideration. So we had our first meeting about 3 weeks ago. And there's some very smart people on the forum, which can be a little bit daunting. But it's been good to be involved in that so far, and we've got another 2 meetings scheduled for December. So one of them was split up into working groups now. So there's a recreational representative, and then we'll have like the aquaculture representative and a seafood sector like your retail outlet representative. So you've got lots of little views, and so we've been broken up into working groups to try and discuss some of the challenges and issues going forward, and what we might be able to offer as a solution, or as some options going forward that might benefit that sort of whole seafood sector.
Yeah, it's certainly great that they have included a recreational opinion from yourself and from Brian Stokes. So that's really good to hear that we are getting included in these discussions.
Yeah.
I'm sure something that will, or probably already has come up, is the Port Augusta kingfish stuff that's been going on. So as an Eyre Peninsula local and also on the forum, what are your thoughts on that sort of story that's been breaking over the last month or so?
Yeah. Look, that's an interesting one for sure, and you can look at both sides of the story. Look, at the end of the day, they're breeding aggregations of fish, and I think we need to be very careful in how we approach those aggregations. And we've seen it with other species where fish get hit too hard. I suppose there's an ethical question as well, because what they're doing is legal, but then you look at species interstate as well and say, well, is what they're doing a long-term solution? And they've had species taken away from them, so they're probably a little bit cornered that they've had to diversify more than they've had to in the past. But it's a complex one for sure. They're in a tough place, but then they're pretty important fish for our region, and it looks like we've certainly got the lion's share of the broodstock class kingfish when you look at other states. So we might have more larval recruitment coming out of South Australia than what we realise, really, because we've got a lot more larger fish here than a lot of other areas. So it's something that certainly needs consideration, and something that needs to be looked into as far as the susceptibility and the sustainability of doing something like that longer term. I was involved in kingfish farming for a number of years, so involved in the hatchery, and then grow out operations of farming kingfish out to market size. They're a really nice table fish, but more in that under 10 kilo, or definitely in that 3 to 5 kilo sort of size. So it's, targeting bigger fish isn't necessarily in my opinion, isn't a great option going forward.
Yeah, no, it is. You're certainly right. It's a complex issue, and I think if nothing else, it's good that it's sort of been sort of discussed in a manner that we can try and come up with some strategies moving forward to manage it and make sure we don't end up in a pickle with this one, because we don't want to deplete that stock so that we sort of shoot ourselves in the foot, if you like.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so
that's good.
Sound management strategies is probably the key going forward.
Yeah, excellent. Jamie, you mentioned it'd be remiss of us not to ask what sort of boat you've got and what you like doing on that boat out off the Eyre Peninsula. You must get out far and wide, or you're sort of more bit closer to land? What's the go?
Yeah, so I've got a Formosa, so a Queensland-built aluminium boat, plate boat. So it's a 5.8 metre in a centre cabin, so you've got walk-around access to get to the front. So we were pretty keen on that configuration, just, for the fishing aspect, to be able to run up the front and lay a cast, especially, our school bluefin, we got little bust-ups, so it's cool to be able to run up the front and get a little stick bait into them. But being 5.8, we can do a lot of inshore work as well. And in reality, we do heaps of inshore and bay work, and we pull the boat up to some nearby islands and flip for flathead in the shallows, as well as plenty of whiting fishing and bottom bouncing. We do love the blue water season, so the offshore season, which is coming around pretty soon. But we just pick our weather when we do head offshore. It'd be nice to have another metre. But there's always...
That's always the way, isn't it?
As soon as you want, whatever boat you have, you could always, on some days, go, well, I wish it's a little bit bigger, a little bit safer, or smoother for the run home, but then you're just compromising other areas of fishing. And for what we do, especially here around Lincoln and Coffin Bay, I think that sort of 5.5 to 6 metre gives a good mix of both worlds, that inshore shallow stuff as well as picking your days to head offshore.
Yeah, perfect.
Yes. All right, Jamie, thanks a lot for coming on today. We look forward to seeing what you get up to over the summer months, hopefully getting into those tuna, as you said.
Yeah, indeed.
And we look forward to continuing to read what you've got to say in your regular articles for SA Angler magazine.
No worries. Awesome.
Thanks a lot for coming on, Jamie.
Excellent.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. We'll speak to you soon.
Sounds good, guys. Have a good one.
Bye.
Catch you later. Bye.
All right, dears, it's been great to have a chat with Jamie Crawford, hasn't it, mate?
Oh, it has. He's fantastic guy, really good contributor to the state in terms of our fishing magazines, which all of us love sitting down and having a read, don't we, Rody?
Yeah, you have to get the dictionary out for some of the bigger words, but apart from that, it's all good.
Fair call. All right, well, look, let's get stuck into the fishing report, and I do want to just touch on our success last week on the cockle front.
Yes, we did. We went down there for the weekend, and we did pretty well in the end.
Yeah, we didn't do well first day.
Saturday we got maybe 250.
Yeah, a couple hundred, something like that. Didn't do too well. There was 5 of us down there.
Yep.
We were sort of doing the cockle shuffle, as we call it.
Yep.
Digging in, trying to pluck them out. We were just getting, 2s and 3s.
I seem to just remember you walking around with a bucket, sort of site managing most of the day.
That's what I'm best at doing, mate. Hard work, but the next day we got amongst them. We got our bag, didn't we?
We did. We got the 900 between 3 of us on the Sunday, having got 250 odd between 5 of us on the Saturday. So
and it's important to take good care of them.
It is.
You want to come back. You want to get them on ice straight away. You want to come back to your house. You want to take care of them, get them frozen so that they last a good long amount of time. We've still got some fishing trips planned, mate. We'll use those easy.
Yeah, so you might have seen that on the socials. We got the vacuum sealer out, measured them out. We tend to go 30 per bag.
Yeah.
And got them in the freezer ready for the summer of whiting fishing.
Yep. No, very good.
And in between that, we did have a crack on the Mulloway.
Yes.
Overnight.
Yep.
Stayed up late into the evening, Saturday night.
Yes.
Watching the baits, not successful.
The glow sticks were successful, though.
Dizzy did manage to find some glow sticks that work this trip. Normally he brings some...
That's a stitch up.
Some little kid's toy that doesn't light up anything and we can't see our rods.
Horrible call.
But we still didn't catch any fish.
No, we didn't catch any fish. Certainly didn't help us. Yeah, but no, that was interesting.
We're not that good at beach fishing, are we?
No, we're not. We should go and do a trip with Jamie, actually.
We need someone with a bit of clue.
Anyway, but we were talking about this while we were camping, Brady. How do you reckon the commercial guys catch the cockles, mate? You got any ideas?
Well, I don't know. It's got to be something more efficient than picking them up with your hands.
Yes. No, well, look, do yourself a favour. If you want to know how to catch them, get on Google Pipico. Look them up on the web. They are the suppliers of pippies in this state to Woolworths, Costco, Drakey's.
Yeah, and how do they get them?
So they just use a standard cockle rake.
Do they?
Yep, 5:30 in the morning. They get the car down there with the sorter on the back, jump on the barge, cross there. They fish in the protected zone, obviously, for the commercial guys.
So they go south of the Murray Mouth, I think,
do.
Yes.
Yes, they do. They've got a little section there where, for your recreational anglers such as ourselves, cannot fish.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough. It's a pretty inaccessible part for us anyway.
Yeah.
But they're all set up for it. They get across there. They have a carload of people and they get stuck into it. They use the rake, dig a bit of a hole, scoop them up, bag them up, sort them, done.
Yeah, good
story.
Yeah, not bad. I'm interested. I thought they would have found something more efficient, but anyway.
Same way. I don't know whether they dredged them, but they're actually a really sustainable fishery.
Yeah,
They've got
good to hear.
Big tick from I don't know what it's called, but a sustainable.
Probably PIRSA.
Well, somebody along those lines. They're very happy with the sustainability of the fishery in terms of cockles, mate.
Very good to hear. Now, Diz,
Yes.
you've been reading up on some of our freshwater fishing in the state. What's been biting?
Yeah, look, Rick Jarman. We were talking with Alex Williams, fan of the show, great guy. He was telling us how well some of the people have been doing in the Warren and the South Parra, and Rick Jarman's getting some very healthy sized callop out of the Warren on some spinnerbaits.
He
Good
certainly
sizes.
looks off the social media like a good fisherman.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's doing very well, and just he just backs it up one after the next. Boom. Then he goes straight after that. Redfin, South Parra, spinnerbaits again. I reckon he's a bit of a guru.
Yeah, no, good to get a bit of freshwater fishing, and that scene does seem to be on the increase in the state.
Yeah, absolutely. Another thing we've seen across the state, Rhodey, has been some pretty good catches of King George whiting from West Lakes around this time of year.
Yeah, well, you used to live down there, and I don't know if you ever got any.
No, we certainly didn't. But look, they get them around Trimmer Parade, from what I can gather. That inlet gate down there needs to be open, and they get amongst them. Some people even catching their limit.
Oh, hell.
Yep.
Wouldn't read about it.
Absolutely. All right, well, we did talk about this last time, but Hamish and the boys have been doing very well on the Kingies.
Yes, they have, and I saw Boyd, Stu and Scott got over there as well, friends of the show.
Yeah, some good pups, as they call them.
Yeah, they got some good ones.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of Kingies around Port Augusta. They're continuing to fire, both on the jigs and on the downrigger.
Yep.
So get involved in that.
Yeah, if you've got a downrigger or if you're set up or you feel like doing a trip to Port Augusta, then get around it, because it certainly seems to be this time of year when they start firing.
All right, Diz, what have you been doing across the border? You've been doing a bit of work on the YouTube?
No, well, we do talk a lot about the sustainability of our fishery, and it's obvious we're in a bit of a predicament when it comes to snapper. Isn't it, Rod?
It is, yeah.
Yes. Okay, thanks for your feedback. Good to have you here on the show. But one video which has been doing a bit of the rounds on the media has been some snapper fishing off Port Phillip Bay.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't believe the amount of boats. I reckon there would have been 70 boats.
Wow.
Just within screenplay of this guy doing.
And how many of them were getting fish though? That's the question.
Well, I don't know, but even if they all get one, that fishery must be getting hammered. And they've got a sustainable resource over there.
They do seem to, don't they?
So it's quite amazing.
I suppose we could learn a thing or two, couldn't we?
Yeah.
They're not banning snapper for 3 years, are they?
No. No, it's a good point.
No.
Anyway, well, that was just something I thought worthwhile mentioning.
All right, Diz, that wraps up the fishing report. So we're getting towards the end of our show. Make sure you do jump on the socials, keep us in the loop, tag us in all your Facebook, Instagram type videos.
Yep.
Keep an eye on the YouTube channel because we're dropping heaps of gear on the YouTube, aren't we?
Oh yeah.
Diz is going to show us how to rig up your anchor.
Yep.
So keep your eye out for that video that's floating around.
Yeah.
And now this could be a dying segment.
I fear that it is, mate. I spent good half an hour, 40 minutes trolling the web last night to try and find something.
The negative feedback for the joke is starting to get to us.
Yeah. I'm hoping that this doesn't sort of shoot me to the bottom of the list in worst joke, because you're sitting there right by yourself, according to our expert judge, Dan.
Dan, the fishing guru, he keeps us
Dan, the
updated
fishing
on
guru.
who's got the worst joke.
Yeah, and I fear that this might get me down on your level.
And this almost could be the last joke.
This might be the last joke.
We've almost trolled the whole internet for fishing jokes.
We might, unless there happens to be somebody who sends in a joke that we feel needs to be publicised and discussed on an open forum such as this. I think the joke might be dead after this week.
We've got the committee working hard on a replacement segment though, guys.
We have. We've put it up to the board, and they're going to consider our options. But anyway, for this week, I'm going to have a crack at it. We'll hopefully go out on a high. So, ready. I suppose you've heard about those two fly fishermen from Texas, right? Have you?
Nah.
Oh, right, yeah, well, it's a pretty commonly known story. They flew to Canada for a fly fishing trip. They thought they'd do some ice fishing on the way with their fly rods.
Yeah.
Seem like a good idea?
Yeah, why not?
No, it doesn't, because there's a heck of a lot of ice, and you're not getting your fly rods on the ice. So the two blokes, they thought, nah, stuff this. We're going to just pillage the ice for the day. We're going to take home a heap of ice. So we've got 20,000 pounds of ice.
Yep.
A lot of ice.
What are they
And
gonna
we're not
do?
talking the drug. We're talking real ice. So they got home. They're very proud of their work. Didn't do too well on the fly fishing. So I thought, well, we'll see how it cooks up. So they got into the cabin, started frying the ice, and they both drowned. They're dead.
Is that the punchline?
They're dead, mate. They tried cooking the ice.
I reckon we've got a new low, Dan. That was horrible. That just went round and round in circles and then didn't go anywhere.
Do you reckon we've had that before?
We certainly haven't had that. I'd remember if we'd put that garbage up.
All right. Well,
Look, I'm sorry about that,
the end.
guys. That was a bit embarrassing.
Hopefully that's the end. Thanks for listening, guys. Good episode. Great to have a chat with Jamie Crawford. Fantastic guy.
Thanks, guys.
Speak to you next time. Bye.
Rhodey and Diz hope you enjoyed today's episode of All the Gear But No Idea. Keep up to date by liking and sharing us on Facebook and Instagram. And you can subscribe on all the major podcast platforms. Until next time, good luck fishing.